Hey guys,
Hey everyone.
you probably noticed something that we have a matching shirt.
So today we want to do a little bit different of a video. With everything going on in the news in America and around the world, we wanted to share some information with people to give you more understanding of what's happening, right?
ทุกคนคงเห็นในข่าวกันใช่ไหมว่าเขามีทะเลาะกันเรื่องผิวสีนั้นสีนี้ผิวขาวทะเลาะกับผิวดำใช่ไหมกายก็เลยคิดว่าอยากจะทำคลิปแบบ sit down and talk ให้มิชเป็นคนอธิบายว่า what is racism เพราะกายคิดว่าคนไทยหลายๆคนรู้นะว่าการเหยียดผิวคืออะไรแต่ว่าไม่ได้รู้แบบที่มาที่ไปว่ามันเกิดขึ้นได้ยังไงแล้วมันส่งผลกระทบอะไรยังไงบ้างกายว่าความรู้นี้สิ่งนี้กายอยากให้คนไทยทุกคนได้รู้เหมือนกันก็เลยอยากจะทำคลิปวิดีโอนี้ขึ้นมาหวังว่ามันจะเป็นประโยชน์กับใครหลายๆคนที่อยากจะรู้ว่า what is racism
Yeah, so what's happening in America isn't only happening in America. So we wanted to explain to people in places where there aren't as many conversations about racism, what is racism? First, I want to say something. I am not a historian, right? I am not an expert in this field. Also, I am a white male American. So I don't know what it's like to be a black American. Neither do you, unless you're a black American. Right? I don't know what it's like to be Thai, and she doesn't know what it's like to be American. So when we're learning about these things, it's important to understand that you can only see from your own perspective. You can't really understand what it's like to be another person. And that's why the most important thing to do is to listen. When other people are telling you their story, listen and don't try to push yourself onto their story.
The entire conversation, we are not trying to make you choose the side, but we want to make you aware of the problem, like what's going on with the world. And I hope you get something back from this video.
Yeah, we hope that it encourages you to go learn more, right? Because this is not everything there is to know.
All right.
So,
okay, so I will start with the first question. So, what is racism?
What is racism? That's a big question. I think that racism is looking at people differently or treating them differently based only on the color of their skin.
Only the color of their skin?
Or their ethnicity. So there's racism against Asians. That includes people from China, from Japan, from Thailand. Right? And then there can be deeper racism against those groups. But usually it is treating people differently based on their ethnicity or the color of their skin. And that can be big things like the government denying them rights. It can be small things like thinking Asians are smarter than white people or thinking black people are lazy. It's judging individuals, people, based on their skin color and not who they are. So racism is treating people differently, usually negatively, and it can be in a good way, but treating them differently because of the color of their skin or their ethnicity.
Where is the racism in America come from? Like it sounds so big thing in America, you know, like in Thailand we have that, but it's not so obvious. But in America, have a protest about it and like, maybe can you tell to Thai folk or anyone that like, how does it come from?
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge question, right? This is a big question. And I think that racism is deeper and older than just America. When we were in the forest and competing for survival, we started to group together. And the people closer to you who looked like you, those were the people you could trust. And you were competing for survival against other groups. So racism, in a sense, is kind of natural. But the thing is, we are not monkeys living in the forest anymore. We're working together to create society and government. Racism in America is as old as America itself. I mean, from the moment Europeans arrived in America, we killed, we raped and pillaged from the Native American people, the people that were first there. So, you know, fixing this problem with the black community in America is deeper than just one community. It's looking at all of the racism. But what we're seeing now came from what's called the transatlantic slave trade. So what happened was when Europe was colonizing Africa, they would go to Africa and they would take slaves from Africa, and then they'd take them from Africa across the Atlantic Ocean to America, the Bahamas, Mexico, and they would take slaves from Africa and they would work in those areas, right? The reason that America grew was because they had free labor from Africa to work on the plantations, to build the economy. And so that's one reason that Black Americans are so upset is America is this rich, powerful nation, and that wealth was built upon slavery, right? So slavery ended, but it never really ended, right? They freed the slaves, but they put things in place to make sure that the white community was safe, was still in power. And in some places after slavery, it was actually worse. The police were put in place to patrol and keep in line the Black community.
The image that you have Black people as a slave never got rid of, right? It's still there. You still see them less like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the way that the white slave owners justified the evil things they were doing, the way they did that was they said Black people are less than white people. They are supposed to be treated this way. And that is a lie that white people convinced themselves in order to keep doing what they were doing. We talk about white supremacy. That's the idea that white people are better because of our race. And people still believe that to this day. And that's the issue.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Many people always thought like, oh, white people are so much better than us, but it's more like individual. It's not color of the skin that define that you're better or worse. So you know that the protests still having it right now, right?
Yes.
What do they want? Because the laws already said that everyone has an equal right. And I don't think like they're protesting, is it gonna change the way people treated them? I think it takes like much longer time.
And that's what the protesters are upset about. We had these same protests in the 1960s. We had them in the 1900s. They had them after slavery. And throughout all of American history, we've been protesting this same thing.
But
and then
it's not changed.
It doesn't change. The government changes the law, but then they find a way to work around the law and keep those systems in place. And the only reason we're seeing it now is because of social media, because of phones. So the things you're seeing now, Black people being killed by the police, has been happening for years. So, and the police is a big part of that, right? So, oh, you can't enslave Black people anymore, but you can arrest them for minor offenses. So the police are kind of one of the ways that the system kept racism in place. They enforce racism.
I think the problem is America gives the police too much power.
Way too much power. In Thailand, do you think there's any examples of groups that are treated differently? So there's Thai, which I guess is ethnicity. Are people from Cambodia, people from Laos, are they treated the same way as people from Thailand?
It's not by the skin, but it's by the ethnic. Sometimes we didn't think about it, you know, but it's just the word that we hear since we were younger. And we thought it's okay, but it's actually not okay. We call each other Lao. What's wrong about being Lao? And yes, we don't know what's wrong about being Lao. So why we call each other Lao is an insult, you know?
Yeah.
It's a big news a while ago, and then I don't really see people call each other Lao anymore. That is more like the case in Thailand.
What about our light-skinned women, especially, and men,
yeah,
treated differently than dark-skinned?
Yeah, when we were younger, we call each other dumb if they have like a tan skin, and we just change our perspective that like, oh, you're a farmer from countryside or you're poor. But throughout the life, when I grow up, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, that is racism as well. The funny thing is, we still trying to use the gluta, use the whitening cream to be white, to have like a brightened skin. But I don't think they also know where it's really from. These days, they thought that white skin is more like K-pop, Korean, pretty, cute. But I think it started from the colonization. And then they make us see that like, oh, white people are better. And that is make like, okay, we want to be like them, I think.
Yeah. And I think that's one reason that racism is so strong and so hard to get rid of. People don't know where it comes from.
Especially in Thailand, I would say that we don't have any agenda to being racism, but we just grow up with it and we thought that it's like that.
Yeah.
It's how people see it.
And that's what white people in America who are fighting against the protests think too. They don't think they're racist. It's just the way things have always been. People in Thailand treat us differently. White people are not better than Thai people. Black people are not worse. keeping in mind, it's about the individual. It's not about the group that they look like.
The entire conversation, we are not trying to make the fight or the argument or put anything in your head. It's all about the perspective or how you see things. Because eventually, like, we are living in the same earth, and I don't like to see people fighting each other and all, because like it works best if we just treat each other equally.
I would say the first step is look into yourself, because we're all so quick to point out what's wrong with everyone else. We all have to see, who am I? What is my perspective? Do I have any racist thoughts? And guess what? You do. So
Yeah, I do. He does.
Everyone does.
Everyone. Yeah.
And seeing those and learning how to change your own heart is the first step. If everybody on earth did that, we wouldn't need to protest. This protest, it's not going to get fixed in a week or a month or a year. This needs to be a lifelong journey about learning more.
And you know where to start? Start with yourself.
But
one thing that we stand on.
We have to fight against it because it's wrong. People are equal. There is nothing about the color of your skin that makes you less than anyone else alive.
People fighting about color of the skin, when we are together, it makes us feel bad. Like, we can love each other despite our skin. The culture is different.
And I think we're more powerful because of our differences. In America too, it's a great place because there are so many different people.
You have to listen a lot, otherwise you're gonna be กบในกะลา Do you know what it is?
No.
And why you laughing?
I don't know. It sounded funny. What is it?
กบในกะลา is like a frog in the coconut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
frog.
stuck in
Yeah.
the coconut.
So like you only see what in it, but you don't see
Yeah.
outside it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is hard. It's hard to leave the coconut. It's,
Yes.
It is uncomfortable to learn about your, especially as a white man. Like, my people are doing a lot of terrible things. It makes me feel terrible, but it's true. So step into the discomfort. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable.
Yes, and there's another thing. I made this shirt. It's not really like I want to just sell it, you know. As I told you, I want to bring an awareness to Thailand. I want all of Thai people, fuck the racism. Like, clearly I don't like racism. He doesn't like it. And no one should like it because it's just like,
fuck them.
Yeah, it just make people hate each other. I was gonna say anti-racism, but Miss is the one who come up with fuck racism. Yeah.
We want to take a strong stance against it. This fist is the symbol of the Black Lives Matter movement. It's the symbol of black power, of resistance against white supremacy. And below that, we said, fuck racism.
Yeah, because I also wanted to relate to like every race, every color of the skin, and where you stand.
Absolutely. Because racism for one group of people is racism for all people. Nobody is free unless everybody is free. And so we wanted to spread awareness. We want to give you an easy way to contribute. So another thing we're doing with these shirts is the profits will go and we will donate to the Black Lives Matter movement in America and to spreading awareness about racial inequality here in Thailand. It'll go to things like fighting injustice, bailing protesters out of jail, feeding people supplies at the protests. So it will directly go to fighting injustice.
Yeah, I know it's not as much. Our currency is different, but well, at least we help, right?
Every little bit counts. And really it's the idea of giving to the cause, of supporting the movement, of showing that you support. So when you're buying this, it's not just a cool t-shirt. That money is going towards supporting the cause and fighting against racism.
Yeah. So I only made it like 100 of them, but if you guys want it, it's only 300 baht. 300 baht. So I probably put the link below if you guys want it. Yeah. Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video.
I hope you enjoy watching it as much as we enjoyed making it.
And if in this video, if we say anything wrong, well, we are not expert.
Correct us in the comments.
Yes.
So if we missed anything, if you have any questions, if you disagree with us, put that in the comments below.
Yeah, but no anger.
We're gonna discuss with love in our hearts.
Yes. I learned it from my school that even though we have a different mindset, different thought, but we still can be friends.
And that's what we need. Because right now, the reason change is not happening is because people with different ideas are fighting against each other instead of talking and listening.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And
So-
that is what we try to do with our relationship too. we're gonna talk more, fight less.
Fight less. Absolutely.
Okay, guys, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We love you.
Love you.
Love you.